Hello, my name is Santos Padilla, and I'm here to discuss sensitivity analysis. As part of today's discussion, we will be covering sensitivity analysis, qualitative steps, quantitative steps, capital budgeting, and incorporating project risk. So what is sensitivity analysis? It is the creation of different scenarios by adjusting factors such as initial investment, variable cost, or discount rates. As stated by Carlberg, sensitivity analysis provides multiple points of view on a project, and it enables the review team to focus on the business drivers that have the most significant impact on potential outcomes. It essentially helps you figure out which factors have the biggest influence and how much you can adjust them without creating a negative impact. For businesses, the sensitivity analysis can be used to help maximize profits while assessing risk to ensure a successful outcome. To understand what steps we must take, we first need to understand what qualitative data is. Qualitative data involves information that cannot be measured and focuses on word and descriptions. It is used to ask why or how and is more subjective in nature as it is expressed in terms of language rather than numerical values. Today we will cover the most important steps. The first step is to define your goals and objectives. What do you aim to accomplish? Once this is determined, the second step is to identify critical factors that can impact the outcome of the project. From there, the next step is to develop realistic scenarios based on the critical factors that were identified. This allows analysts to make predictions based on manipulating the factors and, more importantly, how changing factors can affect the result. The final step is to determine the impact by understanding how the changes affect the results. By reviewing all the variables and the possible outcomes, important decisions can be made. Again, we need to determine what quantitative data is. It involves using mathematical and statistical methods to study financial markets and make smarter investments or trading choices. The first step in this quantitative process is to determine the metrics that are going to be used and establish a baseline model that will be employed. Next, you have to manipulate the variables based on the scenarios that were created during the qualitative process. By altering the variables, analysts are provided a comprehensive view of the potential impact. The third step is to analyze and interpret the information that is generated from the model. This step involves crunching the numbers to find patterns and trends from the manipulation of the variables in step 2. The last step is identifying the visualization tools that will be used to present the information. This can include, but is not limited to, charts, graphs, and tables. So now that we have identified the steps needed, we're going to talk about capital budgeting. So what is it? It is the process of evaluating investments to ensure that funds are allocated appropriately and aligned with the company's objectives. A business uses capital budgeting to properly evaluate projects and investments, such as procuring equipment and new facilities. Generally, the intent is to increase profits, and capital budgeting is utilized to determine the best way forward. As stated by Kitten, the process involves analyzing a project's cash inflows and outflows to determine whether the expected return meets a set benchmark. The main methods for this include discounted cash flow, payback analysis, and throughput analysis. Now that we understand what capital budgeting analysis is, we can discuss how project risk can be incorporated using two well-known methods. One of the common methods used is the Monte Carlo simulation. Argyle provided. The Monte Carlo method is a random sampling of inputs to solve a statistical problem, and a simulation is a virtual representation of a problem. Furthermore, a sensitivity analysis can be conducted just as we have previously discussed. Both methods can be incorporated into a capital budget analysis to identify potential problems that can negatively impact a project's success. It is important to note there are many methods available, and a company should choose the most suitable option to mitigate project risk. Today we have discussed sensitivity analysis, qualitative steps, quantitative steps, capital budgeting, and incorporating project risk. Thank you for your time.